Imagine you're a perfect driver. You've never had a ticket, you've never even bumped a curb, and your record is as clean as the day you passed your test. Then you open your mail. Your insurance premium didn't just go up, it doubled. You call your agent, and they can't tell you why, but they point to a report from a company you've never heard of. A company that knows exactly how you drove at 3 a.m. on a rainy Tuesday last November. Today, we are breaking open the biggest scandal in the history of the modern automobile. It's not a mechanical failure, it's a moral one. We're diving deep into the massive multi-billion-dollar lawsuit involving the insurance spying complex. We are talking about how General Motors, Ford, and Honda turns your personal car into a 2-ton snitch. By the end of this video, you will know exactly how they're doing it, who's buying your data, and more importantly, how you can force them to stop. To understand the scale of this, we have to look at the story that broke the dam wide open. It starts with a man named Kenn Dahl, a 65-year-old software developer from Florida. Ken was the kind of guy who took pride in his driving. He drove a Chevy Bolt, an electric car he bought because he wanted something efficient and modern. In early 2024, Ken noticed something strange. His insurance quotes from 7 different companies were suddenly sky high. We're talking about quotes that were double what he was used to paying. He couldn't figure it out. He hadn't changed his address, he hadn't changed his job, and his record was spotless. He decided to do some digging, and eventually he requested a consumer disclosure report from a data broker called LexisNexis. He expected a few pages of basic info, maybe a credit score or a list of past addresses. What he got instead was a 258-page document that detailed every single thing he'd done behind the wheel for the last 6 months. The report was terrifyingly specific. It listed 640 individual trips. It showed exactly when each trip started, when it ended, and the total distance driven. But the real smoking gun was the section on driving events. It logged every single time Ken had braked too hard, every time he accelerated too fast, and every time he exceeded the speed limit even by a few miles per hour. Ken was floored. He'd never given LexisNexis permission to track his driving. He'd never signed a contract with them. So how did they get his data? The answer leads straight back to General Motors and a service called OnStar. You see, when Ken bought his car, he'd signed up for OnStar for safety. He thought it was there in case he got into an accident or needed a tow. But hidden deep within the 50 pages of fine print, in language designed to be ignored, was a clause that allowed GM to collect his driving data and share it with third parties. GM wasn't just sharing it, they were selling it. They were selling Ken's digital life to LexisNexis, who then turned around and sold it to insurance companies. And those companies saw a few hard braking events in a parking lot and decided that Ken was a high-risk driver who needed to pay double. This is the core of the insurance spying crisis. It's a legalized heist where your own property is being used to pick your pocket. And Kenn Dahl wasn't alone. Once his story hit the New York Times, thousands of other drivers started pulling their reports, and what they found was a systemic invasion of privacy that spans across almost every major car brand. We're talking about Ford, Honda, Kia, Hyundai, and Subaru. They've all been caught in this web. It's a secret industry worth billions, and it's all built on the idea that if you own the data, you own the customer. But the lawsuits are starting to pile up, and the evidence is becoming impossible to ignore. Let's look at the hard braking metric, because it's one of the most controversial parts of this whole mess. The sensors in your car are incredibly sensitive. If a dog runs out in front of you and you slam on the brakes to save its life, your car logs that as a negative event. You did the right thing, you avoided an accident, but to the algorithm, you're a dangerous driver who's about to cost the insurance company money. There's no context, there's no nuance, there's only data. And that data is being used to build a risk profile of you that you can't see, can't challenge, and can't escape. It's a digital prison, and the walls are made of code. But it gets even crazier. Some of these cars aren't just tracking how you drive, they're tracking where you go.
If you frequently drive in high-crime neighborhoods, or if you tend to stay out late at night, your car is telling the insurance company that you're at a higher risk for theft or vandalism. Even if you're just visiting your grandmother or working a night shift, you're being penalized for your lifestyle. This is the wallet impact in its purest form. It's the death of the flat rate premium. We're moving towards a world where your insurance rate changes every month, every week, or even every day based on how the algorithm feels about your commute. And if you don't like it, well, good luck finding a car made after 2020 that isn't built to spy on you. The legal battle over this is just beginning. Class action lawsuits have been filed in multiple states, accusing car manufacturers of deceptive trade practices and violating privacy laws. The lawyers are arguing that consent buried in a 50-page document isn't real consent, especially when most people don't even know they're signing it. But the car companies are fighting back. They claim that this data is used to improve the driving experience and enhance safety. They say that drivers can opt out if they want to. But as we're going to see in the next part, opting out is often a shell game designed to make you give up before you ever succeed. This is the reality of the 2-ton spy in your driveway. It's not just a car anymore. It's a data mining platform that happens to have wheels. And right now, it's working for everyone except you. We've talked about the betrayal, the moment you realized your own car has been gossiping to your insurance company. But now we need to look at the how. How does a piece of data, a single hard break on a Tuesday afternoon, travel from your dashboard to the desk of an insurance adjuster? The answer is an invisible pipeline, a network of data brokers that most people have never even heard of.
In the world of data, there are 3 names you need to know: LexisNexis, Verisk, and Arity. These aren't just companies, they're the architects of your digital shadow. Let's start with Arity. Arity is a subsidiary of Allstate, and it has become the focus of a massive lawsuit filed by the Texas Attorney General in early 2025. According to the lawsuit, Arity wasn't just getting data from cars, they were getting it from your phone. They allegedly paid millions of dollars to popular mobile apps you probably have on your phone right now, to install secret tracking software. We're talking about Life360, GasBuddy, My Radar, and Fuel Rewards. Think about that. You download an app to keep your family safe or to find the cheapest gas in town, and then exchange, that app is recording your speed, your acceleration, and your GPS location every single time you drive. The lawsuit claims that Arity has built the world's largest driving behavior database, covering over 45 million Americans. And they didn't just use it for Allstate. They sold it to other insurance companies to help them justify raising rates on millions of people who had no idea they were being tracked. Then there's Verisk. Verisk is another giant in this space. In mid-2024, a letter from 2 U.S. senators to the FTC revealed just how cheaply your privacy is being sold. Honda, for example, sold data on nearly 100,000 cars to Verisk for the grand total of $25,000. That works out to about 26 cents per car. Your entire driving history, your privacy, your digital dignity was sold for the price of a gumball. Hyundai wasn't much better. They sold data on 1.7 million cars for about 61 cents each. These multi-billion-dollar corporations are selling you out for spare change while you end up paying thousands more in insurance premiums. This is why this lawsuit matters. It's not just about privacy. It's about a massive, coordinated transfer of wealth from your pocket to the pockets of the insurance industry. Hey, if you're sitting there checking your phone for those apps, you're not alone. This is exactly why we do these deep dives. The forensic files of the auto world aren't just about crashes, they're about the systems that control our lives. If you want to know how to delete this data, and you want to see our next investigation into why new cars are literally bricking themselves, hit that subscribe button right now, and let's get into the legal reckoning.
The tide is finally starting to turn. In January of 2026, the Federal Trade Commission, the FTC, handed down a landmark ruling against General Motors. The FTC officially banned GM and OnStar for 5 years from sharing sensitive geolocation and driver behavior data with data brokers. The commission called GM's actions an egregious betrayal of consumer trust. They found that GM had failed to clearly disclose that their smart driver feature was a surveillance tool. GM didn't admit to any wrongdoing, but they agreed to the settlement, hired a new privacy officer, and severed their ties with LexisNexis and Verisk. This is a massive victory, but it's only the beginning. Lawsuits are still pending against Toyota, accusing them of sharing data with Progressive's Snapshot program without clear consent. Progressive says the data is shared at the direction of the customer, but the lawsuit argues that the direction is buried in confusing, misleading legal jargon. So, how do you protect yourself? How do you close the door on the 2-ton spy? Step 1. Request your consumer disclosure report. Go to the LexisNexis and Verisk websites today. By law, they have to provide you with a copy of the data they have on you. When you get that report, look for telematics or driving events. If you see a list of every time you went to the grocery store, you know you've been compromised. Step 2. Check your car's mobile app. Look for settings labeled data privacy, smart driver, or insurance scoring. Turn them off. But be careful. Some manufacturers try to trick you by saying that turning off data sharing will disable your SOS features. In many cases, that's simply not true. They're just trying to scare you into staying in the program. Step 3. Scrub your phone. Go through your apps and check the location permissions. Does your gas finding app really need to know your location at all times? Does your weather app need to know how fast you're driving? If the answer is no, change the permission to only while using or delete the app entirely. Step 4. If you live in a state like California or Texas, use your state privacy laws. Send a formal request to your car manufacturer to delete your data and stop the sale of your sensitive personal information. We are living in a new era of automotive ownership. It's an era where the car is no longer just a tool for freedom, it's a node in a global surveillance network. But knowledge is power. By understanding how the pipeline works and by taking these steps to protect your data, you can take back control of your wallet and your privacy. The insurance companies want you to believe that this is for your own good. They want you to believe that safe drivers have nothing to fear. But as we've seen, even the safest drivers are being punished by an algorithm that doesn't understand the real world. Don't let them turn your car into a witness against you. Next time you're behind the wheel and you're enjoying that open road, remember, you're not just a driver, you're a data point, and it's time to start fighting back. Because at the end of the day, the only person who should be in control of your car and your data is you.